Holy cow, that's a full room. I'm in the wrong audio.
Do I need to leave?
Nope.
Wrong. That's what I did. So yeah, everything's good. 100% my fault.
Oh my god!
That's loud.
Yeah, Fallen thought he was going to be able to do live comms because he thought we only had 14 people. Which, when I did my numbers, we only had 14 people. So I was like, yeah, this should work. You know, if there's room, you're welcome to come in. But if there's not room, you can't.
No, Skitty, let's go. I got mediums on. I'm just breakfast. I'm screwed there. Mediums. I'm on mediums too. I'm trying to figure something out here. It's not working right. From 10 to 11, I just couldn't get any more out of them.
All right. Well, we are live here for the Project International Touring Series. This is Season 6, Round 1. Clearly you can see these boys are racing the Corvette C7R for this season. For the next 5 consecutive weeks they will be running this car. This is Open Tune Series on the Project cars on the PlayStation 4 platform. Sorry about that. And as you can see on screen, Watkins Glen Grand Prix course this evening. 2 45-minute races. We have a 10-minute qualifier that should be starting here very shortly. And then a 45-minute race, a short break, and another 45-minute race. Reverse grid, rolling start. This is a SNAIL sanctioned series. SNAIL is a club primarily based off of the GT Planet website. Got started several years ago on the Gran Turismo 5 game, and has then since migrated to Gran Turismo 6, and now with the PlayStation 4. Been out for a while. We are running a series here on Project Cars.
Hello, Lesson.
Hello, Fallen, my co-commentator for the evening. Nice to have a voice in my ear other than myself. How are you?
I'm very well. Looking forward to this race. I was at the knockout qualifying room. I got to see some of the taste of the faster guys who are joining us this season, and it's looking to be a very intense race.
It will be a really good season, I think. This should be an interesting race. I know this car is quite the handful in stock form. Guys really struggled with it before they were able to get a solid 2 on it. But I think everybody is pretty much found something, borrowed something, learned something, tried a few things. So we should have everybody should have something pretty stable under themselves, at least for the tonight. Hopefully.
We're hoping so.
Yes.
Yeah, we're hoping so. Just to reiterate to everybody who's watching, I am not actually in the room. I'm not watching live. I'm going to be watching the TV screen as it happens. So I will not be commentating on live feed that you guys are watching. So keep that in mind as if I slip up or something.
He may be a little late to the party, is what he's saying.
Yes.
About 8 or 9 seconds, I'm guessing. I haven't.
Yeah, I listened to a little bit of audio. It turns out I'm about probably 9 or 10 seconds slow. So we'll see how things go.
Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
I'm sure.
We don't have all the latest, greatest technology to do this in a super pro level, but that's okay. We'll have some fun with it, and we'll get to see some really good racing.
Yes. Like I said, I'm very looking forward to it. The fastest I've seen several guys. I've seen 5 or 6 guys running in the 43-second category at the track this weekend. So.
Nice. I think I did a couple laps, like the first or second day after the car was announced, with a couple guys, and it was pretty sketchy on a DS4. I wasn't anywhere near that time without a tune.
I'm nowhere near that time with a tune. I'm running about mid 45s, so and that would slot me. Based on what I've seen, that'd probably slot me in the bottom half of the top 10. So it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway, we should be getting started on knockout qualifying here very shortly. Hopefully.
This will be grid qualifying, actually. So
Okay.
this will be qualifying for
for
the beginning of race 1. Knockout qualifying, we don't actually stream that, but that starts for non-locked-in drivers around 8 o'clock or so.
I'm sorry about that. I did make that mistake. That was my bad.
Oh, it's okay.
I'm still getting adjusted here, so.
So we have quite the lineup. We have Ice Warden going down the list. Hazard, our Season 5 champion. One Space, Z is here, our leader in this series. Sketty, Arrow, User, Volvic. We got Cheese, Adrenaline is a newcomer. Mopar has been around this game for a little while. McTrucker, Logan, Racer, quite a few names from the SNAIL Sunday series, or at least from the past.
And it looks like we're going to have more drivers come in throughout the season, so knockout qualifying, grid qualifying, it's going to get more and more intense as the season goes on, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how the season progresses. A few more guys couldn't make it due to prior obligations, but that happens.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Several of them, actually, following the thread. I think there are probably about at least 3, maybe up to 4 or 5 regulars that were not going to be here tonight. So knockout qualifying is going to get pretty intense in the coming weeks.
Yes.
Hi, Tom Mang. Nice to see you this evening. And there's a fella who should be driving in future races once he's feeling a little bit better. I know Tom's kind of sidelined for the moment, but we wish him a speedy recovery.
Yes.
Let's see, we are just a couple minutes past the hour. We should be getting fired up here shortly.
Before we do that, I will be right back. I'm going to grab me something to drink, and I'm going to get everything set up here so that I'm ready to go. But I will be right back. So I will not be on count for just a second.
Yep.
Alright, and I'm back.
Alrighty. I'm gonna switch over audio for just a second.
How'd you guess? How'd you guess? Yeah, we're starting to hear what you do. They hear you. You just can't hear them.
Alright, it sounds like they are going to create a new lobby.
What happened? Bad settings or?
Probably just issues between drivers, I'm guessing. Visibility problems.
Okay. That's understandable.
Yeah, it's your typical sim racing issues. Usually a new lobby clears that up and we'll be able to get this thing fired up.
Can't have invisible people on the track.
No.
As fun as that would be.
So... yeah, looks like Jackson's already left the room, so he's probably setting up a new one now. And there's my invite.
Yes, confirmed. I am about 10 seconds behind.
Yeah, that's right. You can we can chat in live time, but you hear your voice later on the stream.
Yes. I am set in the party with Lesson. I am not. It's the standard PlayStation sharing system, so we are kind of, like we said, we're delayed by about 10 seconds on my side. I hope you guys can understand that I'm probably not going to be saying much about the live racing. So
It's alright. I think it'll be.
people are starting to join in.
It'll be fine. Yeah, it's filling out pretty quickly as everybody jumps over.
If we do get a clearing that happens, Z probably will invite me to the second race, and I'll be on my account. So
Yeah, if there's room in the lobby.
actually, you could probably invite me mid-race. I won't be able to watch or anything, but
True.
and generally speaking, we do get one or two people who drop due to connection issues or various other things, damage. We do run a full damage room with mechanical failures, so
Yes, that is correct. We this series runs full damage. Realistic fuel usage, and I think for the season they're on. Is it 4 times tire wear? 4 times? So they will. You'll see everybody. We'll see some pit cycling for sure.
During my testing, I wasn't using any of the external apps or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to get about 7 or 8 laps before one of my tires went below 50%.
Okay.
So I'm looking probably at pit stop maybe 25 to 30 minutes in the race. So I'm thinking of one stop.
One stop race. So we'll see who implores who's going to run with early stop or a later stop. You know, that's just a strategy. We'll see what plays out. I would imagine the front runners will. Well, you never know. You never know. Last week for the All-Star race, everybody kind of there was a lot of strategies in that race. I saw guys make 4 stops, more guys ran just 2 stops, so It's a mixed bag.
And everybody's in. We're just waiting on them to ready up now. But wait, I'm behind.
Yeah, most we're getting there. We're getting there. Just need a few more.
I'm gonna get used to being. give me a little bit.
Well, you know, hopefully, when Project Cars 2 comes out, then we'll have maybe we'll have a little better setting without having to go the PC route.
Yes. Okay, that's weird because my roommate is currently watching the stream and I can hear myself.
Yeah, I turned the volume on the stream down so I didn't give extra feedback.
How do I sound?
In the party chat, you sound fine. Clear as a whistle.
My roommate gives me a thumbs up that I'm coming through the stream clear.
Alright, let me go down here for a second. Well, that's true, because I take up a spot in the lobby.
Oh yeah, we got
So here's Mighty Mopar on his outlap, coming through the bus stop chicane. And down into 5.
I'm going to have to make a quick adjustment as apparently I am not coming in clearly with my roommate.
Okay. If you are viewing, this is grid qualifying for the first of 2 45-minute races this evening. This is a one-make series, but it is full tuning, not a spec race. As you can see, we got about 8 minutes to go in this qualifying session. No hot laps put down quite yet. Everybody's pretty much on their outlap. We're watching Sketty run through the track. Trucker's out. There's Mopar again. One space in the number 8. Like that thing.
One thing we're going to have to watch for tonight is, especially for later pit stops, if the slower guys are making pit stops a little bit later in the race, we may end up having an issue where some of the slower guys come out in front of the leaders coming up these S's. So they're going to have to be really careful when they, the leaders are going to have to be really careful when they get to the S's not to push too hard, especially if they are behind somebody, because the S's are a one-lane track. And you're not going to be able to pass through the S's. Wait until they come out of the, out onto the straightaway.
That's yeah, I would agree with that if you're talking if both cars are in full race mode. I think coming out of the pits with not quite track temperature tires or race temperature tires, you're not going to be able to hold the same speed.
Right, correct.
You know, it's probably more advantageous for the faster car to pedal a little bit along the outside if necessary and get a full run, you know, all the way to the top of the S's coming to the top of the hill rather than waiting all that distance to go by.
Well, what I'm worried about is, say somebody does come out of pits, or the leaders do catch a slow car coming out of turn 1. There's not really any space to pass until you get up to the top of the hill.
Yeah, it does stay pretty tight. If it's right at, say, turn 1, right at the very beginning of pit exit, you can creep on by. But like here, this section right here, I agree, it is pretty tight. As we're watching C.
I'm still adjusting my microphone a couple of bit, so let me know if I get too high.
In my ear you sound fine, but I can adjust it. I can't tell on the...
How do I sound now?
Hold on, let me...
My roommate just gave me a thumbs up. That's who I was asking.
Gotcha. Okay, you're good. Alright.
Sorry, it's not very professional for me asking my roommate how I sound, but, you know.
Well,
not much else I can do.
Neither of us are professional commentators, so I'm not concerned about it. It's all a work in progress. As we watch Aerolite on track, trying to put down a time. To this point, we have Adrenaline Please, who has gone purple at the top of the sheet with a 142.880. Mopar is second at a 42.909. Ice Warden with a 43.9. Hazard with a 44.2, one space. And Sketty separated by hundredths in the 44s. Z also at a high 144. So it's Adrenaline, Mopar, and Ice Warden at the moment with just under 4 minutes to go in this qualifying session.
These guys, for amateur club racers, essentially is what we're running as. They're only about a second and a half off the official time this car ran here last year.
Oh, okay. No, we have a fast group. There's no doubt about it. I believe we have a very fast group. I mean, the thicker this field gets, the more entries we have, which we've seen a huge surge in the last 2 weeks of interest in this series. Granted, I'm not driving, but my place would be considerably lower on the ranking were I.
To give you an example here, we're watching Logan, who's in 10th place. I used to race with him. He used to be one up near the front with me when this series first started, when we were running under Lesson, actually. We were up near the front. And now in today's series, he's down in the bottom of the top 10.
Yeah, Logan's not yet put a good lap down. I know he's a lot faster than the 2-minute flat that he's showing at the moment.
Right, but that also shows how competitive this field is.
The field is extremely competitive. It is actually 29 thousandths per pole right now. That's like nothing.
You couldn't even fit a hair in between those two. So.
Sketty has jumped up to the 3rd position for qualifying with a 143.7. Still, that's a ways off the top 2 though. Those guys are in the high 42s They are cruising.
When over the course of the last week, I've been in various practice runs, watching various speeds. The fastest I was seeing was 43s, high 43s. This is the first time I've seen 42s. That is incredibly fast for these guys.
Yep, it is. It's stepping up. It's go time. You know.
Yep.
It is go time with less than a minute in this qualifying session. And Logan's got his first good lap with a 1:45.2. Pretty solid.
That
puts him to 9th for this qualifying session.
Hard to believe that used to be a fast lap time in way back in the day. I'm sorry, a little bit of nostalgia. Looks like we should be coming to the end of qualifying here.
Here we go. So we have Adrenaline Please with the pole on the night with a 1:42.880.
I just got a message from Z saying that hang on. Gotta check the message here real quick. Jax with electrical issues has to back out and come back in. We may have to restart the room. I'm not 100% certain right now.
Let me bounce over real quick and see what's going on. Oh, are we gonna be okay, Z? Z, are we gonna be alright here? Okay, so we're just waiting on Jackson to come back and we'll fire it up. Yep. Alrighty, so our host had some type of electrical issue. So we are going to have to restart. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to restart the lobby. But instead of a grid start, we're going to utilize a rolling start for race 1 so that we can utilize this qualifying order.
So they are taking pictures of these. They were taking pictures of the grid as we were commentating over it, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I took it with my on my PS4.
That is a nice feature that I like about the PS4. It's so easy.
I
to
normally
take a
do it
picture
on
of
my
screen.
phone, but let me I'm gonna switch over audio again just to double check and make sure that I'm at the right place and they're not gonna. I don't know if they're gonna do a new lobby or if they're just gonna let Arrow run it or what.
Not about you, stupid.
Are we staying here, Z, or are we doing a new lobby? Right, to do a rolling. Okay. Is Jackson's opening the new one? I have it on. Okay. Good job, Arrow. Okay, very good. Do you want me to call it? The green, I mean? Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass like 100 cars.
I'm so damn.
All right, so we should be we're doing a new lobby again, and like I mentioned, we will do a manual rolling start so that we can utilize the results of this qualifying session and get everybody in the lobby.
Okay. I see a flying car.
So, my data guy online has informed me that last year's pole time at the 6-hour race was a 1:44.3.
So we are running faster than that. Wow.
Fast lap of the race was a 1:43.9.
I see that being the race pace here in this race.
There's an invite. Alright, that's from Z. What's going on? I didn't think that his connection was good enough to host.
Apparently neither is Jackson's.
Yeah, it might be a little goofy. It's usually his connection is very consistent.
That's what I'm saying. It does seem a little bit weird.
And if anybody watching the stream, I apologize for all the blue screen. That happens when I have to bounce back and forth between the system's party chat, where I can hear my co-commentator, Fallen Log, and between that and game chat, so I can talk to the series organizers. Yep, I am.
pit.
We're gonna do.
Alrighty. So, just a little bit of prep work. These guys need to get set for this first race. Unfortunately, looks like we're short a couple, waiting on a couple guys.
Hopefully fairly soon here, I should be getting myself a capture card to be able to help stream or at least record these races a little bit easier for me, or whatever else I do, so that you guys can see my perspective when we're racing, and we can do kind of like a joint comms kind of thing is what I'm hoping to do.
Okay.
Just mine won't be streamed live, as my internet does not support live streaming. I'm surprised my internet's holding it together now. So.
And there's User and Vovik, the last couple guys that we were waiting for. So I think they're going to set just a 5-minute warm-up, which I'm not actually going to utilize, but these guys, since it is a new lobby, I think they do have to go back and double check and make sure their pit strategies are saved, so that's taken care of for them. Would not be fun to get caught off guard with a bogus pit strategy just due to changing rooms. So unfortunately, some technical hiccups here this evening, or we're not too far behind actually.
No.
Technically the race started like 9:30, so it's only a couple minutes past that.
Yeah, we're actually doing pretty good on time for all these technical issues we've been running into. I do have to say, Watkins Glen is probably one of my favorite tracks I've raced on this game. It's a fast-flowing circuit for me. I really like the way it feels when you nail all the corners right.
It's a fun track. No doubt about that. Very fast. Alright, I will have to switch over here to game chat here for a few minutes, Fallen, so I can get these guys started, since I will be giving the green light on this start.
I do not come through on comms when you are in game chat, just letting you know, so if you come back and I'm not exactly here.
Because it's through mine. Gotcha.
Yeah. So,
makes sense.
Just figure out what you know.
Okay.
Yep.
Yes. So this is.
Everybody knows their positions. Everybody's aware of their starting position. Drivers, let's have a nice, clean, professional, and competitive start to this race. Tighten it up. Green, 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 go! And we have seen a couple incidents so far in this first lap.
Can you confirm who the yellow car was? It looked like it said Z on my screen.
I know that Z is running one of the yellow Corvettes.
I would like to know who all was involved in incidents early on in this race so far.
Not sure. It's really hard to tell. It's a lot of stuff going on. There was an incident exiting turn 1, and then there was Sketty coming up the hill past turn 2, and then some various other things that will get looked at a later time.
Yep. Okay. So, for a pretty chaotic lap, but we'll hopefully everything settles down here.
Yeah, we'll see how things settle down and play out here, but at the moment, it is Adrenaline Please in the lead, followed by Mopar, Ice Warden, Hazard, 1 space, Loban in 6th, Cheese in 7th, Arrow in 8th, Racer, Trucker, User in 11th, Jackson, Vovic, Z, and Sketty.
That was Z.
I believe the yellow car at the bus stop is Z.
Is.
Is,
Z
yes.
Oh no. Yeah. Hopefully there aren't some major issues with Z's car. I seen that he was really slow coming up through the S-curves on the screen, but I don't know if he lost a wheel or if what's going on. But it did look like he had a pretty hard impact at the back of the pad. So.
Yeah. Looks like Hazard's had an issue. He is strolling around back in 13th position at the moment. So
doesn't look like he's slow. Might have just had an incident where he got loose, or maybe even had a little bit of help. I'm not 100%
yeah, not sure. I mean, I can see that his left tail light is out, so he's had some contact. The car definitely looks scuffed up a bit. And then there is the other factory Corvette of Z93. But at the front, it is Adrenaline leading Mopar and Ice Warden. It's a 1.2 second gap to second place. Adrenaline with the fastest lap of the race so far to 1:44.5. Just a couple tenths quicker than Mopar.
Well,
we'll keep an eye on this
on
this race for the lead, but it seems to be pretty stable at about 1.2 at the moment. Here's Joe.
Everything seems to have calmed down, so
yeah, we're you know, less the pack is spread out a little bit, the track has gotten a little wider, and these guys can start getting comfortable. One space looks like he's had some contact as well as he dives down into turn one. So Loban has certainly taken advantage of some other people's misfortunes. He's currently sitting in the 5th position. I think he qualified 9th-ish or something like that.
I believe that's where he qualified, yes.
There's Arrow in the orange and black 20 there. Trying to hold off Racer. A little bit of a contact of a car behind them a little bit. Get a better view of this, huh?
It was very appetizing to see when I realized I'm 8, 9,
Yeah,
live, so.
it is tough for sure. But they're doing the best that we can with it. So we got pardon me, Arrow leading Racer here, and it looks to be fairly even matched. Ooh, big run there. Nowhere to go though for Racer 420. Just has to back off and try to find a better opportunity. Definitely a lot faster there through turn one though. I have noticed that the last half lap or so we've been watching really seems to gain a little bit on entry. See what he does here at the bus stop. Yep. A little bit. They're a little bit better on the exit though. A little twitchy there in front of him. This is a pretty even match. Oh! Racer put it off.
Yeah, it looks like he was just trying to push too hard.
Yeah, just I don't know if he came up on Arrow a little bit faster than he expected, and maybe a little excessive brake there, but just went a bit wide. That puts User up in the 7th place to chase down Arrowlight. What's he got for him? Yeah, Arrow is going to have to pick it up in turn 1 if he wants to hold on to the 6th position, because he's getting eaten up pretty much a good probably 6 to 7 tenths by both cars that have been behind him in the last 2 laps. These are being cautious of the braking zone here. And that is Racer right on his back, trying to claw his way back out of his mistake. It's a pretty good battle here falling between the 3 of these, and they are really just kind of trying to figure each other out.
Yeah, as of right now, I'm watching them. But at the same token, I can confirm my internet seems to be a little bit behind right now, as I've had to have my secondary stream that my buddy was watching shut down to try to catch back up. So if I seem to be coming through a little bit choppy, I'm sorry. That is my internet being the pain that it is.
Well, not everybody can have 500 megabytes of download.
Yeah, I'm working on this 3.5. So.
So as you can see, Arrow decided to dive in the pits with about a half an hour to go in this 45-minute race. He gives up the, well, at the time, gave up the 6th spot to User, and somebody else pit too, I believe, that bumped User up to the 5th position, and respectively Racer to 6th. McTrucker currently in the 7th position. Jackson running middle of the pack in 8th. Hazard back up to 9th after some early race mishaps. Here's Arrow back out on track again in the 11th position with 1 pit stop in the books. Here's Sketty in 12th, having an issue.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like some of the fast guys really had good runs. So far. I believe most of these guys were just caught up in incidents that may or may not have been
quite a few guys are really struggling at this moment.
I know Z, personally talking to Z, I know he was really looking forward to this race. He thought he had a good shot at getting somewhere, and it just looks like he's having a...
That's really unfortunate. A few guys are having some tough times. Sketty is typically very solid and consistent and very competitive, and he's had some incidents that have really kind of messed up his day. I mean, there's still a half an hour to go in this race, but you know, when you're a minute behind, that's pretty significant.
Yeah.
So it's still Mopar. It's I apologize. I did miss the lead. Mopar has gotten by Adrenaline for the race lead. 1 space is in 3rd, followed by Ice Warden. Racer 420 has gotten by User for the 5th position. Jackson's in 7th now. Hazard up to 8th. Lobin in his qualifying position of 9th, followed by Arrow, Volvic, Trucker, Sketty, Cheese, and Z. And Mopar really seems to be walking now. He's got a 2.7 second lead on Adrenaline, and
he looks like he has the car very well under control.
Stretching it out. Yes, I expect Mopar to be extremely competitive in this series, and not just by what I'm seeing now, but even in the old WRC series that we ran between 2 years ago and a year ago or so. He was a front runner there. Very fast, very composed, good driver. Here's Adrenaline.
I'm sorry about any noises you guys
In
are
the second
hearing.
position. This is not what you see on track, a race 4 position. FYI.
I'm sorry about any noises you guys just heard. My cat decided to climb onto a leaning box spring and tried to tip it over. So I had to go rescue that.
Yeah, that's what cats do. They're mischievous.
Again, not professional quality. We're not in a booth watching the race live, so I have to deal with my real life issues while we're doing this. So forgive me on that.
Here's One Space in the third position. He's run a 146.7 so far this race. Pretty decent pace.
It does look like the top two managed to get a massive gap to everybody else, or I'm just not seeing them on the
Well,
screen.
you know
They're not
what?
that far ahead.
They've run the race incident-free. They're both running super competitive, really fast laps, while other guys are kind of just not so consistent for the most part. I mean, there's a few guys that can come somewhat close to their lap times, but I mean, Mopar's got a 145 last time by.
I'm assuming
Mopar just ran a 144.2. That's purple on the race.
I'll be right back.
Watching Ice Warden here, definitely has a significant amount of damage to his car, but running in the third position with about 25 minutes to go in this race.
Yeah, after the first lap, things really did calm down. Who do we have stalled on the side of the track there?
One of the factory Corvettes. I'm not sure which one that is. Let me see if I can bring it up.
I'm sorry, I just happened to notice a car sitting on the side of Rogers.
Yeah, I saw it too. But I can't tell who it is. My app does not give me that much detail.
Unfortunately. We're still limited by the
Joe's
technology
in for a pit stop.
given to us.
Ice Warden going to give up the third position. Racer 420 is in the pits as well. Looks like Jackson is coming into the pits.
It does look like, according to what I'm seeing, it does look like Z has officially retired from this race and is in the pit lot.
Yes, I saw his car in the pit, on pit road.
I didn't see a service stand in front, so I'm assuming he's retired. Unfortunate for him. Like I said, he was really looking forward to this race today. So hopefully he can bounce back in race 2.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. This is a fairly long night. 2 45-minute races. And
But
if you're...
this is the risk you... Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'll go ahead. This is a risk that you run when you run a full damage lobby with mechanical players and everything. You may or may not have a good night. It just depends on how your night starts.
And
really.
absolutely. I mean, this is sim racing, and there's a lot of different leagues out there, lots of different clubs, lots of different variations on policies and procedures and room settings, and this series runs full damage, so you know you definitely run the risk of having a bad night that may not be of your own making, but that's racing, and that's really the type of environment that that the creators of this series wanted to go after. It was to really try to get it to be as authentic as possible.
Well, like I said, Z still has race 2 to gather some colors and get back to it. And if he's retired now, give him about, what, 20 minutes to gather his composure before he has to get back out there? So.
Yeah. So we're watching Vovik here in the 7th position, and he is just slightly back of Ice Warden. Let's see what he can do. He's only a half a second or so. Yes.
I got just that confirmation. Z did retire. He had some sort of issue on the racing line, and he was just not able to move anymore, so he had to retire.
Oh, is that down there in the boot? Did he get like stuck on
yes.
a curb or something? That's weird.
I'm not 100% certain what happened. He just said that he couldn't move on the racing line, so.
Huh.
That was, in fact, the car we did see stuck down in the boot.
Yeah. This race is heating up a little bit. And
looks like Volvo definitely has the advantage here.
looks like we have Hazard coming into the pits. And I think he's giving up... I'm not sure. I think he was somewhere in the top 5. I'm pretty sure. So the running order at the moment, with about 19 minutes to go in this race, is still Mopar on top with Adrenaline and 1 space in 3rd. Loban Mike fills the 4th position with Ice Warden and Volvic behind him. Racer 420 is in 7th, followed by User, Aerolite in 9th, Jackson McTrucker in 11th, Hazard, Sketty, Cheese, and Z.
Yeah, it does not look like the factory Corvette guys are really having a good night tonight so far.
Yeah, that's really surprising too that Hazard is struggling as much as he is here. Okay.
I know that really both these guys were incredibly looking forward to these races. So.
Well, we'll see what they can put together in race 2. You know, Hazard's he's still 11th. But that is a minute 12 back of the leader.
Yeah.
And that looks to be closest battle on track, actually. meaning the 11th, 12th position, which is McChucker. Under 3 seconds behind Hazard. This is actually a pretty close battle. This is User and Aerolite. I'm sorry, it's Racer.
At this point, most everybody's just trying to make it to the finish. Everybody's pretty much waiting for some pit stops to come across somebody at this point of the race. You try to gain as many positions as you can, but other than that, you just hold your position and hold it in. You make it to the finish.
Yeah, there comes a point in these races where you just have to settle in, run your race, find your pace that's comfortable. And, you know, all these guys have, if you're familiar with project cars, they all can see what their gaps are to the driver ahead of them, to the driver behind them, so they know if they're gaining or not, or if they just need to conserve and take what they can get. User trying to get a run through the S's here, come to the bus stop. Don't think he's quite going to get close enough.
I'm still getting yelled at by people in the stream for turning up my mic. By the way, Z, who was supposed to be racing, is currently watching the stream. So, maybe.
Well, that is typically what they do. If you cannot race, you watch racing. Whether you're a sim racer or you're doing the real thing. Unless you're Kyle Busch, then you just cruise the track.
Yeah.
Out. But whatever. Moving on. These are a little bit wide of that apex there in one. He beats him here and there, but he doesn't beat him everywhere.
And that could be a real issue when you're trying to pass somebody, especially on a track like this.
Yeah. You know, there's only so many opportunities to really make the move. You know, and there are several tracks, you know, a lot of tracks are like that, where you have to bide your time. You have to really figure out where you want to do it and commit. Oh, respectful racer, utilizing the center of the track. User's really starting to shake him up here a little, really putting some heavy pressure on.
Yeah, definitely. I'm watching the stream back a little bit as, like I said, I'm not totally biased. But what I'm seeing is he's making just a couple little mistakes. He's just allowing users to stay right there with him.
cracking me up online.
So, hi Tom. Just letting you know, I can't see your comments. So.
Between my awful rhyming and him.
Pretty much Tom could say anything he wants about me and I won't be able to say it.
Let's see what's going on. And of course, I went away for 5 seconds to see what was going on, and I missed the pass.
As always, right?
Yeah, of course. Of course. You know, if I'm not doing this and I'm watching a race yelling at commentators, or yelling at cameraman for doing that.
And then you go and do it. That's the easiest job. You're only one cameraman. I feel bad for you.
I am the cameraman, the commentator, the steward. Yeah.
I am
completely. Yeah, I'm completely half-assing all of it. By the way, no. This has been a really good battle, though. This has been fun to watch.
It has been. I will say it's definitely a lot harder than I thought it was going to be to commentate with no actual live stream. Or no.
Yeah, well, I mean, when we're having general conversations about racing, it's easy to fill the gaps. But when I'm here talking about specific battles,
right,
you just kind of.
And that's something that is still kind of trying to click in my head that I'm not actually watching it live. And
so we still have Mopar out front on his 19th lap of this race with just under 9.5 to go. One Space is in the second position. Adrenaline is in the third position, followed by Ice Warden, User in fifth, Racer, Hazard up to seventh position. Jackson still holding strong in eighth. Volvic has made his way up to ninth. Lobin is in 10th, followed by Arrow and Trucker in 12th. Sketty 13th, Cheese 14th, and Z, who has retired from this race. Here's our 9th place car, SW Jackson, and our host on most Wednesdays. There's Mr. Loban Mike running in the 10th position. He's run a 145. Actually, his last lap was a 145.5. That's a pretty good lap for him. That was his personal best.
Interesting thing about being in the top 10. The back of the top 10 at the end of each race. Basically, we run a knockout qualifying system. If you're in the top 10 in points at the beginning of each week, you're automatically qualified to enter yourself into the next race. If you don't end up, if you aren't in the top 10, you can't actually enter yourself into or are not automatically qualified. You have to go through a knockout qualifying process. So anybody who's racing near the bottom of the top 10, the pressure is on for them to maintain their position a little bit more than normal, because if they stay in the top 10 in points, then they get to lock in their position for next week. So
absolutely,
that's something we really got to watch here, because right now there's no real battles for points right now for the championship.
Right,
So
being the first race of the season, there's really no point story yet.
right. So basically, right now,
Cheeseburgers in.
we're just kind of keeping an eye on what's going on in top 10 ish. Was that Skitty I seen also retired?
I don't think he's retired. He may have. I'm not really sure. I'm showing him a lap down. So if he has, he just did recently. Here's your closest race on track for position, and it's for the last of the 3 podium positions. Ice Warden, trying to track down Adrenaline, please. They both had relatively slow laps last time by at a 48 and 49 respectively as they run. And I say that because both these guys have run much faster laps than that in this race. They've both been in the 44s.
They may be suffering from their tire loss.
Yeah, I mean, it's toward the end. I don't remember exactly when they pit. Here comes Ice Warden to the inside, coming down toward one. Joe W will take that position, coming up the S's. Adrenaline sat on the pole for this race, and he hasn't had an awful race, but I would imagine if you'd ask him, this is not how he was hoping it would turn out with under 5 to go. Just lost the last step of the podium there to Ice Warden, who's clearly pulling away. Like you said, Fallen, probably tires. Balance probably just not as there, not as much grip.
I know, well, during my testing, I drove this car for practice just to get a hang of it. I know during my practice sessions, after about 10-15 laps on the tires, they were really far gone. If you're pushing 15 laps, my tires were gone. So I don't know exactly when he hit. I wish we could tell you that, but I mean, I made it probably about 13-14 laps was probably the most I could see the car doing without really suffering from tire loss issues. If you're really conservative, so.
This is a battle for position. I think Jackson might be the only car in the grid without a scratch on it.
Pretty certain. The first lap looked more like a demolition derby with as many cars that went off than it really should have, in my honest opinion. It looked like there was a lot of mistakes in the first lap.
It was definitely rough. You know, I saw that in the All-Star race last week at Spa. I think there were a couple spin outs up at the at the top of the hill there, first lap. There was no contact. Just guys just lost the rear end of the car. Probably just got a little too aggressive with fairly cool tires still.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that in post-race ruling, everything turns out that there was mistakes of their own and not somebody else taking them out. So because we unofficially, I think we do have 2 retirements. Both Z is officially retired. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Sketty was retired. Can we confirm that or not yet?
On PCAR's dash, it does not confirm that he's retired. I can only see that he's finished 17 laps. So I would imagine he's parked it. I do see, yep. Pardon me if I can, there are 3 cars in the pits. One being me, one being Z, and then the third most likely being Sketty.
Yeah,
would make the most sense.
That's unfortunate for Sketty, as that's pretty much a confirmation he did retire on lap 17. That's really unfortunate for him, as he's usually a fast driver, so. Luckily, these guys who are retiring and having bad races this race still have race 2 to gain back up. I'm sorry about my dog.
No, it's I have one too. She just doesn't bark. So with less than a minute to go in this race, looks like Mopart's going to get one more. Well, yeah, he's going to get one more lap in this race.
I will be right back. I'm going to go investigate what my dog is going crazy about. I will be right back.
Sure thing. So, running order to this point, just to keep in the loop, and with the leader on this final lap is Mighty Mopar leading the race with Ice Warden and 1 space filling out the podium. Adrenaline Please is more likely going to have to live with 4th place from the pole. Hazard's up to 5th. Racer 6th, Fovic, has clawed his way to 7th position from some early issues. User in 8th, Lobin in 9th, where he started, followed by Aerolite, McTrucker in 11th, Jackson 12th, who's had a very clean and relatively uneventful race, Cheesecracker, Sketty, and Z, who retired early.
Well, I'm back.
Yes, you are.
Again, guys, this is not a professional quality stream. We're not in a booth. I may end up having to leave suddenly because of one of my animals. Ooh.
What just happened?
Based on what I just seen, it looked like somebody lost it coming out of the bus stop and was just in the middle of the racing line. And Ice just had nowhere to go coming out.
Yeah, unfortunately I didn't see exactly what happened there. It is definitely difficult to juggle all the screens that I'm looking at. Major props to the people that do this stuff for a living.
I believe that officially states that Mopar has won the race, sir.
Yes. So it should be, and most of these guys have finished now. This is Ice Warden coming across the line. These guys are on cooldown laps, and
that does not look like a cooldown lap. That looks like one space is actually slow.
Yeah. Well, he's done.
Did one space?
One space is done. So you have. There's probably another car around him. It's goofy. It is kind of the goofy way this game works. If when you run these longer races and you have cars, if you have a car that's a lap down or something like that, and someone finishes ahead, then the computer just takes over and you're just kind of crawling crawling around while there's still people running race pace laps around you.
Right. Hazard comes home with a 5th. That's not bad for the race he was having.
No, not at
bad
all. Not at all, actually. I need to make sure that I'm on the screen when this thing heads out.
So that screen right there pretty much confirmed it. Sketty did looks like he did retire around lap 17, 18, and Z retired around lap 9. So
Yep.
Pretty bad for those guys. I know that they were hoping to have good races, so luckily they do have race 2 yet to come in about
Yes, we do have
10,
another race to go
15
here in
minutes.
about 10 or 15 or so. For anybody watching, I am going to cut this stream and I will restart another one, another session here in about probably 10 minutes or so before the second race gets started. So just an FYI. And as soon as this thing times out, then I can save. Boom, boom, boom.
Good. I kind of need a break. Something wrong?
We're not getting the...
Is there... We still have cars rolling in the pits, so... What happened?
I did not get the prompt for the results prompt, which means I could not save the race. Okay, well, clearly everybody should have seen or noticed that Mopar won that race, followed by Ice Warden and One Space in third. I'm going to cut this stream short. In about 10 minutes, we will start up race number 2 for the evening.
See you guys in 10 minutes.
See you guys in a few.